From Hulk Hogan to The Rock and countless wrestlers in between have laid claim to the WWE Championship, and all have worn a belt made by Wildcat Belts of Latrobe. Owner Andrew Lazarchik is turning his childhood passion into a thriving business.
I was always a wrestling fan when I was a kid. I mean, that was my thing. I still don't watch football or baseball or anything like that. Wrestling is it. And I used to really be enamored with the showmanship, you know, the entertainment value, the props, the outfits that they would wear. So the belts came along with that.
Wildcat Belts is born in 2005, after Lazarchik spent several years as a promoter, manager, and referee. He gets his first big break later that same year.
May of 2005, I sold my first belt. That was my first official belt, Wildcat Championship belt, was in May of 2005. Sold it, and then one turned into two, and then two turned into four, and it just grew and grew and grew. And
now, after 12 years in the business and having achieved his dream of making numerous championship belts for WWE, he still gets a kick out of seeing his belts on TV.
You know, I'll have a belt, I'll be making a belt for WWE, and it's literally right here, you know, on this kitchen counter on Thursday, and on Monday, it's on international television.
While Lazarchik's passion will always be creating belts for professional wrestling, he realizes that his business needs to expand into the corporate world, as noticed by this sales championship belt.
Most of it is not wrestling. When I first got into it, yeah, that was the goal. I'm going to get into the wrestling business. But as I did it, I started getting orders from corporations for salesman of the month type things, or fantasy football groups do a ton of fantasy football belts. And as I grew, I realized, you know what, the wrestling belts, that's one thing, but there's only so much of a call for wrestling belts. I want to expand this into, you know, something more than just wrestling. So corporate awards is really what I'm focusing on.
One of his biggest corporate clients is Nathan's Hot Dogs in their annual 4th of July contest. Nathan's rejected a proposal from Lazarchik to upgrade their belt, but after the reigning champion Kobayashi lost the belt, Major League Eating, the event's governing body, turned to Wildcat Belts just days before the event.
June 27th, I believe it was, I get a frantic call from Major League Eating. The gentleman, Kobayashi, lost the belt in Japan. We need a new belt, and we need it in a week. This is one of those situations where it's like, okay, I can do it, and then I hang up, and I'm like, oh crap, how am I gonna do this? I get on the phone with my engraver, I start talking to him, I'm like, hey, look, here's the deal, this is a big deal, we're gonna get a lot of business from this, what can we do? We figured it out. You know, I worked on the leather while he was doing that, got the jewels, and sure enough, I got it all done, got it shipped out July 3rd by 10 a.m.
Wildcat Belts has a belt for practically any budget. Prices range from $375 to $3,500, and Lazarchik takes us through the production process.
I'll do the artwork on the computer, that's where my design background comes in. Send it off to the client, so then once it approves, I send that off to a metal engraver. They take care of doing all the metal work. It comes back to me, and in the meantime, I'm either working on the leather or having the leather made, and then I'll do all the painting, the jewel work, color fill, put it together, you know, it'll be done. But that does take about, you know, 10 to 12 weeks, because there's a lot of back and forth with the art, a lot of back and forth with just getting the metal done, getting the leather work done. So there's a lot of steps involved.
Lazarchik is proof that you can make your dreams a reality, and every Wildcat belt is a work of art and a labor of love. For the center of it all, I'm John Stroh.